So I've got a blanket reveal to share with you today. So I'm going to join in all the tags. I'm going to join in Show and Tell Wednesday with Tracy at Eclectic Wanderings. I'm going to join in Casual Fun Friday. I'm going to join in Pika Wednesday. I'm going to join in Romper Wednesday. And then for Reborn Huggles, for Best Friends Club, it was Girls in Blue, so I can go for that too. Do forgive me if I've forgotten anything, because I'm a bit daft, you know. Yeah, I am. Anyway, don't be shocked by this baby. Now, I got this baby, which is a girl, but I'm going to turn it into a boy. I got it for a fantastic price, but there's a very good reason why I got it for a fantastic price, and I'm going to show you how I fix that reason. So here is the baby. Let's not mess about. Let's show you who I got. I got the baby on Vinted, so you can see the problem. You can see the problem with this poor baby. Look at those eyes. They are absolutely awful. But they were like that on the listing. I could see that there was a problem with the eyes, and it did say that it would have to be fixed. So yeah, the baby's a nice weight. I say the baby because I think it looks more like a boy than a girl. So when I've got the eyes in and the eyelashes on, I'm then going to decide whether it's a boy or a girl. I like the open mouth. It is an authentic Reborn, I believe, but I don't know who it is and who it's by. So we've got Girl in Blue for Reborn Huggles, and that is for Best Friends Club. We've got Stripes for Pika Week. It was Stripes or a onesie. And then we've got Romper Wednesday, because she's got sort of a romper on here. Look, it says Always Happy on it. Bit of a strange lumpy body the baby's got as well, but that's something else I can sort out. She's quite red, and I do actually quite like that. I'm not at all worried about that. She's got little shoes and socks on. She does have a bit of a funky smell to her. I think she's been stored, and that's what I think. And I think because of that, I mean, everything's going in the wash. Here's the little shoes, which are so cute, but they're also a bit too. Look how lovely they are. So cute. Oh, really like those, but they are too big for the baby, which is going to be a boy. Look how red those feet are. And it says Jean on there, 4/6/2020. So, you know, this baby's 5 years old. Look at this. Really nice, you know, really good painting it's got. But I'm going to turn this baby into a boy. I wanted a boy, so yeah, I want him as a boy. I think to me he's got more of a boy face. Crikey is well padded. Yeah, and for Show and Tell Wednesday with Tracy at Eclectic Wandering, I'm going to show you how I fix that problem with the eyes. I know I've had people ask me that before, how to do it, so yeah. Let's take these off. So what size is that? Because that fits him really well. Up to 1 month, that is. Yeah, and then underneath that it's got this green one with the world on it, look. And trees and all that, and he's got a white body, and he's got really nicely movable arms and legs. He's a lovely baby, isn't he? Really is. It just is those eyes, and they're full of glue. There's loads of glue on those eyes, but I have got some rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to use that to clean the eyes, and then I'm going to put them in using some tack, I think, some blue tack. We'll see. Well, I've got white tack actually. Yeah, that body really doesn't look right, does it? It looks quite lumpy. The nappy looks as if it's ready for a change, so we'll pop that off. Oh, crikey, look at the state of that nappy. Look at that. Looks like the baby's had a poo in it. Ooh, I don't like that at all. It's going straight in the bin. Yeah. Yeah, the little hospital bracelet. I mean, I can take I think I can take that out of there and put my own piece of paper in. But I think what I'll do is I'll put my piece of paper in on top of that, so that you've still got the record of when this baby was born. That's what I thought. So yeah, they're all going in the wash. That is 62 centimetre. I don't know what size 62 centimetre is really. And that's a so cute 100% organic cotton, 0 to 3 months. So yeah, about a newborn size, I'd say. Yeah, it's a bit odd. I'm not keen on this stuffing. I'm not sure what's gone on there. When I take the head off, I'm going to have a look at the stuffing. The head actually doesn't move. It is quite, I mean, I can move the head, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't turn in the thing. So the first thing we need to do is we need to remove the head to sort the eyes out. So you need to, when you're removing the head on the baby, you need to look for this bit here. This is the zip tie, and the zip tie is going to need to be cut, because this one in fact doesn't have any extra on it. So I'm just going to cut it off and I'm going to replace it. So as long as you've got a replacement zip tie, don't worry about taking your baby's head off, okay? As long as you've got a replacement zip tie, you'll be fine. So we can see that his head is stuffed. We can see his body stuffed with this. He's quite heavy. He's got some loose beads in there. I'm not keen on that. Oh no, we don't want loose things. It should be in a sock or something. Yeah, that's just been stuffed in there like that instead of like in little pieces. It's just been whopped in there, hasn't it? Yeah, they've escaped. They're in a sock, look, they're fine, but that feels like sand, which is fine. It's fine. I'm not worried that it's sand. But look at this whole bottom of this baby's body is full of this, like, they don't feel hard and solid. They feel like jelly, that does. So I need to find something to put that in so I can put it, I might put it back in, but yeah, I'm going to put it back in something, not open like that. I'll find a sock or something to put it in, I think, yeah. Okay, so I've found these are stockings, or pop socks I think they are, so I'm going to put them in here. Yeah, I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to grab the biggest handful I can like this and just pull that over them like that, and then the rest I'll just have to put in and hope it doesn't go everywhere. I'm sure it's going to, but anyway, I'll do my best. Oh, there's quite a lot of it in there, really. Yeah, it does. I don't like the idea of it being loose in there. It's not right. To me, it don't seem right. So yeah, I'm gonna restuff the baby so that he's not so. There's tons of it in here, absolutely loads. Look, that's 4 handfuls I've got in there so far, and I'm still going. There's at least another 3 handfuls, so that's 5. Oh, I actually think that probably is enough for the baby's bottom, actually. So what I normally do is I tie it in a knot like this here, just there. And then I'll go over it again with the spare of the sock. I like to put a little elastic in the middle. This is just me. I mean, I'm no reborn artist, not by any stretch of the imagination, but this is just what I like to do with mine. So I'll put a little elastic in the middle there to make it look more like a bottom. And I'm not going to bother tying that up because you'll have a big you'll just have a big thing left then, won't you? A big knot. So I'm going to just tuck that in there like that. And then I'm going to put that in the bottom, where the bottom goes. And then the rest of it I'm going to put up the middle of the body. So let's see how we get on with this one. There's still quite a bit in there, so I think there's enough, you know, for me to put it up the middle of the body, or just at the top even. Yeah, there's quite a lot. There we go. So one handful. Yeah, there's at least another 2 handfuls. I bet I've had 10 handfuls out of there now. Yeah. Oh. I mean, like I say, it's nice stuff. It's just that it's loose in there. That's what's upsetting me, is that it's loose. Yeah, I did know from the pictures that the baby was quite red. I'm not too worried about that. And if I wanted to, I think I could use some acetone and tone that down a bit. But no, I'm going to leave it, I think. I'm going to leave it. Some people like red, you know, the red newborn look, don't they? And the baby is a newborn size. So, yeah, I think I could have a red baby in my collection. A newborn looking baby. So let's get all the bits I'm dropping. I don't want to have any go on the floor and the dogs get it, so that's why I'm making sure I've got all of the bits. I shall make sure, you know, that this blanket is shook into the dustbin, and all the bits that are left will go in there. But there shouldn't be any left. I'm being very, very careful to get them all. There we go. And then there's more still. I mean, the legs are really, really stiff. The bottom of the legs are. The top's not so stiff, but I'm assuming that that bottom of that leg is full, and the arms of this stuff, or some kind of beading stuff anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried if there's a few loose bits floating about in there, but yeah, I want to get most of it out if I can. Dropped a few bits on that one as well. So I've been over to my mum's this morning, my mum's and my brother's, and I've been sorting out their tablets for them. They go and I order them for them every month, and they go and collect them, and then I well, when I say they, my brother goes and collects them, and then I will sort them into dosette boxes for them. So that's what I've done today, but my brother is saying he's going to try and sort out getting the chemist to put the tablets into portions. I know my friend Christina told me about this on Instagram, and I know that my daughter, who is a dispenser at a doctor's surgery, she has said as well, but I think the nearest one that does it to me is in Lincoln, and I don't want to have to travel to Lincoln. I mean, I know they can deliver, but there's always blooming problems with my medication. I have so many problems with it. I just don't want to, you know, be having to go to the chemist to sort it out. If it's in Lincoln at the moment, my chemist is just up the road, and my husband and myself, we spend an hour putting them into the dosette boxes at the minute at home. So yeah. I have loads of tablets, you know. I'm one of these people that goes to the doctors and I come back with a carrier bag full of medication, and it really is. I mean, 3 lots of it is for my diabetes, then I've got blood pressure medication, then I've got statins, then I've got painkillers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different lots of painkillers. Then I have something for my gastritis to stop me getting, it stops me getting acid reflux. They tried to reduce that once a few years ago, and the doctor reduced it by half, and I ended up with an ulcer. I ended up with an ulcer in my throat, and I couldn't swallow. I could only swallow, you know, yogurt and things like that. Anyway, back to the baby. I've got that done. So she was told by the doctor that she needed to put it back up to full strength again, you know, not to give me the half dose because it wasn't working. So yeah, I think that's enough to go up the middle of the body. So I will tie a knot in that one. So that's the body sorted. I am going to put some of this back in, but I'm going to like put it into smaller pieces, not have it just in one lump, because it's just not, it doesn't look realistic and I don't like it. So yeah, and I've got this one as well that I could probably put up the middle. That does feel like sand though. So then in the head there is stuffing, so I need to take all the stuffing out of the head as much as I can. Hopefully all of it. I think I've got an eyeball there as well. No, that's a magnet. So baby does have a magnet. I need to get that put back in as well. Keep that to one side. I do have some new magnets, but yeah. I'm not sure how a dummy would work with that open mouth though. I'm not sure I'm going to bother with putting the magnet back in. I might just not bother. Now let's see if this is the worst bit. My hands are like shovels and I can never get the flipping things in the right place, the eyes, because the neck's small and that. I've had Rosie help me before. She's pretty good at helping with this. But yeah, this is what we've got, look. Look at all the glue on there. So I'm going to get let's get the other eye out as well. It does have weighting in the top of the head as well. There is a big sack of sand, I think, in there. Feels like a big sack of sand anyway. Yeah, so the eyes are round and they are, so that means we're going to have to glue them in, doesn't it? I'm not going to be able to put them in just with, I was just going to pop them in with some blue tack, but they are going to have to be glued in because of the shape of them, yeah. So if I can get this one out as well, I have got it. I've partly got it. Look at all the glue on there. I mean, I suppose it does take a lot of glue to hold them in, but yeah, it's just yellowed over time, I think. I suppose in 5 years it's yellowed, and yeah, which is, you know, these things happen, don't they? They're nice eyes though, they're a nice colour. Right, let me get my rubbing alcohol and a little lint-free pad to clean the rest off. So this is my rubbing alcohol. I buy it on eBay normally, get a big thing of it, and I use it for cleaning baby, you know, cleaning things and that. So there's all glue around there. I can clean that off with this rubbing alcohol. It should do that pretty well. There we go. Ugh, great big chunks of it there is. I'm not sure why that's all gluey on there, but still it is. There we go. Yeah, and there's some black marks on the back here. I was trying to, let me see, it says something on there. What does it say? Bountiful Baby 2013. Lulu. Oh, it says Lulu. Lulu J05458. So she's a bountiful baby. Lulu sculpt. Right, I'm just rubbing the marks off. There's a few marks on here, and the rubbing alcohol will fetch the marks off without fetching the paint off, so we can do that. Yeah, that neck bit seems to be covered in glue. Not that it matters anyway. What I need is to be able to get the eyes back in, and I want to make sure that the inside of the eyes are not all gluey as well, so let's just give that a bit of a Yeah, I can see all blue in there. It's just if I can get hold of it, that's the trouble. Some of it's not glue, some of it is like the eye socket, and what they've done is they've cut the whole eye socket so you can't sort of hold the, you know, it won't hold the eye in. Not to worry, I'll glue it. Right, so I've cleaned the eyes, I've used the rubbing alcohol to clean the eyes, and then I've wiped them with a wet wipe to make sure there's no rubbing alcohol left on them. And now I'm going to put some Yoo-hoo glue just around the outside here, and hopefully that will help it to stick to the vinyl. So I've got any Yoo-hoo glue, she says. Oh yeah, it is. I've got a little bit, hopefully I've got enough to glue 2 doll eyeballs into position, that's all I'm hoping for. Ah! It will usually give you a minute just to get it into position, so let's give it a try. I have put this cotton stick in as well to help me position it, but it's not actually helping because yeah, it's not actually helping. I don't know why I put it in there really. Let's take it out. There we go. All I'm doing is getting glue all over myself and not even getting the eyeball in position. Right, let's try that. That's one in. So it's no good me telling you that this is what you should do, because it depends on the shape of your doll's eye, it depends on the shape of the space it's going in, you know, but yeah, I find that Yoo-hoo works on these like vinyl-y, on these plastic eyes, and then it does dry clear. Look how much better he looks with his eyes in, and I do think he's going to be a boy. I don't think it's going to be a girl. I think I'm going to have him as a boy. He just doesn't look like a little girl to me. Okay, so I've got his eyes into position, and let me tell you, it took me ages messing about. Anyway, I've got them in and I've got all the extra glue off. Doesn't he look much better now? And I used Yoo-hoo glue on him in the end. Yeah, I tried different ones, but I ended up using Yoo-hoo in the end. So I'm going to put him back together and dress him, and he'll look like a different boy, because he's supposed to be a girl anyway. So to put the head back on, we'll need to stuff the body first, won't we? So let's get his body stuffed. He's quite weighty. He must have quite a bit of weight in his limbs, because he's quite weighty, just, you know, with nothing in his body. So we'll put his little bottom in position, and then we'll break this up. It's gone into lumps and it needs to be fluffed up again so that he's more, you know, it's not all lumpy. I don't like lumpy babies. And then we've got these ones to go down his body, because he's got two. He's got that one and he's got one with, I'm sure that's sand, but I actually don't mind sand. I think it's a good weight, and as long as it's held in properly, I don't see the problem. After all, glass is made from sand, isn't it? So, you know, we're all right with glass, so why aren't we all right with sand? I don't understand that bit. Anyway, here we go. Let's get him stuffed up again. Break all the stuffing up so it's not all in, you know, before it had sort of gone into big wadges and I didn't like that. We'll have him so he can sit really if we want to. I mean, he's too small to be sitting, but with him being so red, he's too little to be sitting, I think. And he's got his little foot thing on, so. You get your zip tie and you put it, there's a hole here and here. You put your zip tie in, make sure you've got it the right way up so that it will fasten when you've got it all the way through. So there we go, and then you'd do the same thing if you wanted to re-weight your baby. You know, you'd leave the weighting out, or you'd put more weighting in when you re-stuff the body. So pop your zip tie through there like that. It seems to be working, yeah it is. And then pop the head into position. Make sure the zip tie is sitting in the ridge of the neck. There's a ridge in the neck there, look. Make sure the zip tie's sitting in there, and then tighten it up to as tight as you desire. You don't want his head to fall off, so you do need it fairly tight. But if you leave it, you know, just a little bit loose, you can move his head round like that and it still won't fall off. So that's what I'm going to do. Now cut it at an angle like that, and then that bit should go in okay. It was too long to go in, the other bit was, and it's still, you might be able to reuse it again, I don't know. Anyway, there we go. So that's the zip tie done. I've cut a tail on it and I've tucked it in. So there he is, all done. He's got his eyes done now, looks so much better. And then I'm just going to pop this little outfit on him. I didn't bring him any socks, I didn't bring him a vest, I didn't bring him any nappy. Oh dear, I'm hopeless, I'm hopeless. Let's get this on him. He has got quite a heavy head. It does like drop back when you lift him up, you know, like a real baby would. He has been nicely weighted. The only thing that was wrong with him when I got him was that his eyes were a bit wonky and some of his paint's chipping, which if he's from 2013, you know, that's quite a while ago, isn't it? Is it 12 years? 13, 23, yeah. Yeah, 12 years, so that's quite a long while, isn't it? On his foot it says 2020, but yeah, no, it says on the inside of his head that the kit is from 2013, so I suppose it depends when he was painted really, doesn't it? Yeah, but yeah, it's really quite nicely painted. A little bit red for some people's liking maybe, but you know, his little nails are okay and his little mottling, and that's good. Yeah, I'm pleased with him. Now that I've got his eyes in, and like I say, it was no 5-minute job. I was getting quite frustrated with it by the time I got him in, because I tried different glues that didn't work, and in the end I went with the Yoo-Hoo. The only reason I didn't use Yoo-Hoo in the first place was because I didn't think it would dry very quickly, and it doesn't dry very quickly, but it dries quick enough, if you see what I mean. I could hold his eyes into position for maybe a couple of minutes, and then they dried and he was all right then. So I will have to pop some socks on him when I get him upstairs, and I will have to pop him a nappy on at a later date, but for now he's wearing this little outfit that's got, well, what has it got on it? That top thing looks like a blooming hedgehog. Looks like some kind of hedgehog, a leopard and an elephant. And what's that hedgehog got in its mouth? Oh, jiggered if I know. Anyway, that's that. And it's a little, oh, I can't see the tag now. We can't see the tag, Baba, can we, to say where it's from? Here it is. Where's it from? Marks and Spencer's, so yeah, it must be a real animal, but it looks like it's being sick to me. What is it? Am I dreaming? It looks like a hedgehog. Is it not a hedgehog? I don't know. What do you think? And then a leopard and an elephant, yeah. I really don't know what that is if it's not an hedgehog. And it looks like an hedgehog that's been sick. Anyway, that's just me, that's just me. So here he is in his little outfit. Doesn't he look cute? Yeah, he does, doesn't he? So I hope that was useful to someone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.